Dogs on the kill list at the San Angelo Animal Shelter. Ballinger is auctioning off some school buses, and Tim Condon is having a nude art show. I'm James Bellini, and this is Live. We'll get to the news in a minute, but first, a quick message from Mammoth Roofing.
Hi, I'm Trisha Lira, third-generation roofer and owner of Mammoth Roofing Services. I love what I do, and what I do is build the world's best roofs. Need financing? I got you. 12 months, 0 interest. I'm Trisha Lira. I want to be your roofer for life.
Starting off the news, 13 dogs remain on the kill list at the San Angelo Animal Shelter, and they must be adopted by tomorrow or they will be killed. Last week, it was reported that the shelter exceeded capacity and was at 199 dogs when their max is 180. Now, the 13 left must be adopted or fostered by 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. Country Valley Paws has announced that all at-risk dogs are free and include vaccinations, microchips, spay and neuter services, and additional perks. The shelter is open from 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock tomorrow, and you can view available pets at 24petconnect.com or to adopt, visit cvpaws.org. A sign had to be cut down by the San Angelo Fire Department last night as it was hanging off a building and posed a danger to passersby. The fire truck was located at 15 West Beauregard last night, and firefighters had to determine what to do with the sign that was dangling off the side of a building. Eventually, the firefighters decided to cut the sign down. San Angelo did experience some storms yesterday and over the weekend, but it is unknown how the sign ended up in that situation. But it was cut down and nobody was injured. Have you downloaded the San Angelo Live mobile app yet? It's free and it's the best app in the business. Download it today off the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store to stay up to date with news in San Angelo. Q&L Auctioneering has announced that Ballinger ISD is auctioning off some items, including some school buses. In a Facebook post, Q&L Auctioneering said that on Saturday, July 27th, a preview of the items that are available is at 9 a.m. with the auction starting at 10 a.m. Those items include school buses, ice cream coolers, weight room equipment, industrial-sized mixers, a piano, and other miscellaneous items. The auction will be at 1404 North 6th Street in Ballinger at the old bus barn. Into weather, if you enjoyed the storms over the weekend, you'll love this week as more are on the way. Right now it's 80 degrees outside with a high of 83, and thunderstorms are possible this evening with a 60% chance. Those chances do decrease overnight to around 20%, and the low drops to 68. Tomorrow the high reaches 91, with more storms possible, and then Tuesday night the clouds decrease and the low will be 68 again. Wednesday it will be sunny, we'll have a high of 95, and we'll have a 20% chance of storms in the afternoon. And Wednesday night it'll be mostly clear, and we have a low of 69. Those storms look to clear out on Thursday and Friday, where the highs will be in the mid-90s. When we come back, Ryan Chadwick will have sports, and then Tim Condon talks about his nude art show. But first, a word from the Bass Bunch.
It's our giant tag sale.
Right now, during our giant tag hail sale, you can get a brand new 2024 Ford F-150 STX for just $38,999.
Don't miss our giant tag sale only at Jim Bass Cars and Trucks, Houston, Hart, and Arden Road, or 24/7 at bassbunch.com.
The Angelo State Rams basketball team continued to add pieces for the upcoming 2024-25 season. Today, Rams head coach Vinay Patel announced that Division I transfer Sterling Gatson-Chapman will be joining the Rams next season. Gatson-Chapman comes to San Angelo from UT Arlington and should be a key piece to the Rams offense moving forward. At 6'4", he is a big guard and will likely be a force to be reckoned with on defense. This is the fourth transfer that the Rams added this summer and the fifth signing overall. The Rams are coming off a season in which they went 19-11 overall and qualified for the South Central Regional Tournament for the second straight season under Patel's leadership. And for more sports around the Concho Valley and beyond, be sure to check in every day at sanangelolive.com/news/sports.
It's hard to believe how reckless some people can be and how hard they fight against real victims. You need a partner who consistently beats the Giants and who will never, ever flinch.
Well, welcome back. I got two friends with me today. This is Joe Hyde. I'm the publisher of San Angelo Live. To my right is Alejandro Castagnon. He is an artiste.
Yeah.
Is that right? An artiste?
That's what they say.
An artist. Now, San Angelo has a vibrant arts community.
Yeah.
And so somehow you've been connected with the most vibrant artist of all, Tim Condon, over here to my left. Tim Condon, he's the founder, owner, proprietor of the Angry Cactus West Texas Bar and Grill.
Yep.
Did I say it right?
Yep. Angry Cactus.
All right. So usually, Tim, you bring in to our studios shrimp or something to eat. Today we're gonna starve today.
Yeah. We're not talking about food today. We're talking about the upcoming event at the Angry Cactus. It's
So
the
you-
Nude art show.
A nude art show. And just to fill people in, the Angry Cactus always has these special events. About every 2 months or so, you have like the Valentine's dinner, the Father's Day buffet, things like that.
We'll do a lot of different events, and this one, is
You're
one
stepping
that I've
out
always
there.
really enjoyed. Alex used to put this on years ago down at Invino de Pente, and it was one of my personal favorite
All right,
events.
so in Vinde de Pente,
It was the Vino de Pente Art Gallery
there you
back
go.
in the day. Yeah.
And
yeah.
that was yours.
yeah. That
And
was my
so,
place.
so I mean, I've been around a long time too. So I've seen you at a lot of events, and you have lots and lots of art. I've seen you at art shows.
Yeah.
So it's kind of explain just describe the arts community the way it was back in, let's say, 2010 when you kind of showed up on the scene until today.
Well, yeah, that's a huge transition. When I showed up, it was a lot of what we see now, very contemporary art, which is representative of this region, West Texas, Central Texas. So
When you say contemporary art, what kind of
I would say contemporary Western art. So your landscapes, your longhorns,
kind of like the in plein air stuff.
Sure. That's a good example of that. But there wasn't a whole lot of variety at the time when I came here. And I actually had a meeting with Howard Taylor when I first started.
And Howard Taylor was the executive director of the San Angelo Museum of Fine Arts. Howard Taylor.
That's right.
You have to say it right. Now, Howard has been on the show before, and it was almost like a Trump speech. It took an hour and a half.
He's a bit long-winded, but he did give some advice when I came to him when I first opened the gallery. I was like, how do I run this gallery to be interesting and successful? And he said, don't be afraid to challenge the community with their conceptions about artwork. So, we went back to the drawing board and we came up with this idea. I say we, Crystal Goodman and I, who was my creative director at that time, and she proposed the idea of a nude art show.
A nude art show.
Nude art show.
All right, let's back up for a second. Howard was like that. Howard had to raise money. And so all of the people with money, that inherited their money or whatever, and had a lot, they were pretty much Democrats, okay? I mean, I'm just being honest, right? Can we be honest on our show? And so he was a little left of center, right? But he didn't act like he was left of center all the time. But the interesting thing about him, back in 2014, when we first started, which San Angelo Live is like art, right? They had the ceramics competition. And there were the winning ceramics exhibit that won. Of course, these nice examples, these bowls, and they have all the blue-haired ladies walking through the museum examining them. They had one that was turned around. You couldn't see it. And so you had to go back around it and look at it because it had kind of like homoerotic on it. It was nudity on the back of it. And we made a big deal out of it in the story. And Howard, and I'm getting back to Howard, Howard said that was the best thing that ever happened to the museum because we have so much eyes on the annual ceramics competition. So artists have to challenge in order to be known. Otherwise, you're just another boring sunset.
They have to challenge the notion that the broader public has about artwork in that specific area. You're talking either a city, a state, a country, it makes no difference. And so that was the advice he gave to me. And we took that and we challenged it by doing a nude art show. But we wanted to be respectful of the idea
so
that...
it wasn't pornography.
No.
Right.
We had to be sure that there was we distinguish between the two. And that's important for a community to understand because a lot of people don't know how to distinguish between the two.
Right.
And so you have to be able to do that so that people don't misrepresent images of nudity and not think of these images as just people. That's just human beings. That you can't misrepresent a human being in that way. You have to be very respectful of that. And the misrepresentation happens all the time. Pornography is a good example of that. And so when we're thinking about the nude art show, we have to think in terms of how do we represent it the correct way through which artwork should be represented.
So I'm going to challenge you, Alejandro. What does pornography do that misrepresents it? I mean, it's usually like video. Right?
Sure. Yeah. It's images as well. I mean, look at Hustler magazine, Penthouse back in the day, So the problem with that is the way it misrepresents is it takes an image of a person, man or woman, makes no difference. And it doesn't take and put in the emotional part of representing a nude figure, which we're talking about.
So it's all lust.
It's all lust without emotion.
Right.
And when that happens, you start to see a divide in the perception of the way people look at nudity, even at its most basic level, like people at the beach. They still have clothes on, but they have minimal clothes on.
Right.
And that starts
Unless you're in Australia. Near Darwin, there's a nude beach there.
There's nude beaches, but even in that instance, you look at those and it's not supposed to be, like you said, lustful. It's supposed to just represent what the human body is. And, people that are nudists are very keen on that. But people that look at nudists think it's the other way around. They think it's more lustful, but it's not.
So Tim Condon he's the promoter du jour of downtown San Angelo, pretty much. So if something out of the ordinary is going to happen, it's going to be Tim doing it. So why did you get the Angry Cactus involved in the nude art show?
Yeah, well, I always loved the event that he put on, and Gabe Lucky was doing an event down at Urban Salt, and it was a giant hit. And it was kind of a celebration of his art.
Is he all nude art?
No, he does all kinds of pop art and things of that nature. But really, San Angelo is a thirsty town when it comes to art and when it comes to culture and all of those type of things. And so what my idea of the nude art show is really truly a celebration of the human figure. And so that, I'm also an artist and I do a little painting.
You're an artist.
I do a little bit of
You're
that.
an artist.
So I try to
wait,
capture
stop the presses. Tim Condon claims to be an artist.
I do sometimes. I paint a little. I think being a creative person, there's a lot of different ways that you can express creativity, whether it be through interior design of like designing the inside of a restaurant per se, or a home, or anything like that. Whether it be painting, like through spray paint or any medium of paint, right, or any medium of any sort of painting in that way, and then also even through food, right, that's an art form as well.
Right. Yeah. Well, we've always talked about, when before you even started the Angry Cactus, you said, I have this vision that we can display the food in a different way, and you even described square plates to me back in 2013 or something. And so I think your food is an art, and the way you display it, the way you present it is art too.
Well, I literally use the example that every plate is a frame. It's a framework for your art. You've got a square frame, a circular frame, but that plate is a frame.
Hunter, do you agree?
Oh yeah, 100%. Okay. Yeah, the culinary arts and the visual arts are very much correlated.
Okay, so this is the first time on San Angelo Live, and we're going to see it for the first time on San Angelo Live. Tim Condon, the artiste.
Oui.
All right. Can we flip over here? I'm going to bring the microphone over here. Let's bring it. And Alejandro, you stand right there for a second. Let's get over here. Man, we can't even see.
You're in the way, Joe.
We're in the way. I'm in the way.
You're
you know what?
There you go.
There we go. But you're in the way.
We'll come this way. There we go. Boom.
But we can't see us.
All right.
But for the people on the podcast, what we're looking at are two art pieces by Tim Condon. We're also seeing Tim Condon's legs and my legs. But this is your art.
Yeah, they're not complete yet, but they're very close. And so I just wanted to take two different types of figures. These are both female. I also have a male that I'm working on, and just kind of create what the shape in my head is of different shape. And this one's a little bit different than that one, different sizes, different everything, different color schemes in some ways, but just trying to captivate and capture what's in my mind at a specific time. And I use different types of inspiration. This is all spray paint and acrylic.
Spray paint and acrylic. Are you going to name it the Yellow Woman?
It's funny because before I added the highlights, it started to look like The Simpsons at some point. But you just kind of, I do this for fun. It's just a way to express myself. I do a lot of different paintings, and it's fun. I'm not a serious person when it comes to this. I just like to do it for a couple hours and then get away with it. Do it a couple more hours, kind of just it's a work in progress, and so that's what these two paintings kind of represent.
You know, I think it's important when you're an artist, when you're a food artist, a culinary arts guy, to have another outlet. Let's move over here, and we can switch back to the other camera because didn't want people to see the green background that we have here.
Yeah.
And I want them to think that we have this beautiful scenery that we're sitting. There's a window behind us, but. Anyway, when you're an artist like that, you're culinary, having another outlet sometimes inspires other things.
Oh, absolutely,
You know?
and kind of like the way that art works, it can be expressed in many different things, and so that's what I'm going to be able to do, and that's what our culinary team is going to be able to do at the Angry Cactus, is kind of captivate how does nude art relate to food, and so we're going to incorporate some nude models into some of the displays.
Okay,
of the
before
food,
we get into
things
that,
of that nature.
Alejandro, give me a quick synopsis of the history of the Nude Art Show, because it's kind of a tradition, right?
It was a tradition, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. For about 5 or 6 years, we did consecutive years of the annual Nude Art Show.
The first year didn't go so well. You had protests.
We'd had a little bit of pushback from folks in the community that heard about it, didn't really know what it was about, but didn't agree with the initial idea of it. And we did get some calls here and there, people saying we shouldn't be doing it, like, it's inappropriate, that type of thing, which is what we expected. I mean, that's what Howard said. You gotta have to challenge, and challenging comes with a little bit of pushback. So the annual event was, it was modest because we had a small space, but it was full of local art. And
When
that
you
was
say
important.
modest, it's a nude art show. Were they modest in the nudity?
No.
They were not?
No.
Okay.
No, in fact, when we did the first one, we didn't even tell anybody that we're going to be nude models there.
Oh, really?
So when people got tickets and they showed up, they just thought they were going to see art. And we didn't tell anybody.
So basically, they were to see paintings on canvas.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Or photography or whatever.
Yeah.
And we had 2 nude models painted, on their bodies. We painted, different.
Do they
stuff.
So when you
Oh,
paint
yeah.
them? They move around?
Sure, yeah.
You don't make them just stand there?
I mean, it helps a little bit, but we don't expect them to just be completely still. So we got to work very quickly, because the paint dries and it starts to crack. So, but we didn't tell anybody they were going to be in the back room. And when they walked back there was just a lot of faces that were very surprised when they walked out of the room. And
Did they buy more art because they were surprised like
I don't
that?
know if there was a correlation between that, but I imagine it probably got people very excited to buy art. And so that was really a positive. It was the thing that led to the next year, which was sold out.
And this is one thing I didn't understand about the arts community here in San Angelo. The way you make money is I guess you get commissioned to make a piece, and or you have a piece and
Correct.
someone buys it.
Correct.
So these art shows are important because you can sell the art.
Yes, correct.
Right?
Yeah. That's the goal, to help support the art community, and that's what Tim's doing. Tim
Right.
is also supporting the art community through having this event, so that the artists that are used to showing more contemporary work here in town,
The in plein air stuff.
sort of like that, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, to have an opportunity to create something that is not usually seen or allowed to be shown in some places because of the rules, and because of that, this is an 18 and up show. And we're very aware of that, to making sure that it's appropriate for ages that are coming to see it.
All right, so the layout of a traditional nude art show without a restaurant would be the nude models and canvases, basically?
Yeah, displayed around the venue, either on a wall or easels. And in this
Okay.
case, it's probably going to be both.
Can someone buy the art off the body? Or do you have to kind of sell that prior?
No.
You can't just take the woman home?
No, that would be uncalled for. We definitely wouldn't want that to happen.
I'm making jokes.
Yeah, we would never do that, obviously. But we do want them to appreciate the artwork that's either painted on the bodies, or that the bodies themselves represent a form of art. And that is something that we want to be very intentional about when people come to the show.
All right, Tim, you're going to dress this up with not just the nude art show. You're not going to just walk in the Angry Cactus and a bunch of canvases and nude art, I guess, live models. You're going to incorporate food into it and drink.
Yeah.
So explain what all that's going to be.
Yeah, so it's going to be a full open bar. It's basically an open bar as well as all you can eat on the appetizers. It's going to be heavy appetizers, kind of very high-end gallery style things, lots of past hors d'oeuvres. We're going to have
But you're not going to sit down at a table and have a 5-course meal.
No, there will be cocktail tables, things of that nature. We will have an area though that where we can have amateur artists sketch the nude model that's going to be part of the live display. And then we'll be giving away a $100 gift certificate to the person who does the amateur artist who does the best sketching.
So they can basically get a free meal.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, absolutely. And then the really cool part is that this is a huge opportunity for my culinary team to kind of like develop different types of appetizers, past hors d'oeuvres, things of that nature that we always are kind of trying to work on. And so, we're going to do lots of past hors d'oeuvres. But the beautiful thing that we're going to have about a 12 to 15 foot display of food. And in this display of food, we're going to have different two different models and kind of incorporated in with lots of different greenery, flowers, all kinds of things. So it's going to be really, really cool. And we're going to be able to incorporate all these different.
And it'll be
kind of
tasteful?
thoughts. Absolutely
So to speak?
tasteful. It'll no, it's going to be absolutely amazing. I mean, people, you can get very creative with this stuff. And and really what it is about art is falling, not falling off the edge or anything, but walking that line of just doing something, but doing it in a creative and classy way, right? And so that's what the opportunity is
Right.
to be able to showcase this style of work, this concept of art, as many different ways as possible. And it's going to be an amazing evening, great drinks, great food. Tickets are $100. You can get them at the Angry Cactus. It is required to have tickets to come in. So just call down to Angry Cactus and get your tickets today because they are going.
Or you can
very
stop
quickly.
by there.
Yeah, you can.
The
Absolutely.
corner of Concho and Chadburn.
Yep.
So, Alejandro, when was the last year you did your nude art show?
Gosh, I want to say it was either 2017 or 2018.
So it was 2018. We're like 6 years, 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
So we've kind of had a hiatus. Of course, we had COVID in the middle of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Could you imagine a nude art show in the middle of COVID?
Masks.
No, I know. It
Only
wouldn't have
masks. But when you did it the last time you had the art show, how big had it gotten? How popular had it gotten?
It at that time had started to kind of trickle down a little bit in terms of the attendance, just because there was a very limited amount of opportunities to do stuff that was creative with the space that we had. The last time we did it, we did have a nude model that was there for us to sketch, but they canceled the last minute, and one of the people that was attending volunteered to just do it. And it was very, very fun and spontaneous. So we had a really, really great time. But I think incorporating that part.
Are you going to accept volunteer models?
Well, we already have 5, and I think we're hoping to get maybe one more, but
What's the requirement? Do you have to weigh under 114 pounds?
No, no, nothing of that nature.
Is it going to be female and male, or just
we
female?
have 3 females and 2 males, and one of them was the original male that had been doing this. So he's been one of the models that's done it almost every year.
He was the first one, and he did him every year. Brandon
Yeah.
Smith, I think he owns a gym here as well. And he's
in shape, 6 packs.
He's always been in shape and ready to go. And we contacted him as soon as we thought about the idea, and he was like, "Yeah,
I'll be your Ozempic model."
Okay, there you go.
Let's do it.
I'm just kidding. I'm not going to model, folks. Not going to do that.
We don't want to lose tickets.
You won't sell any tickets. But anyway, what date is this?
It's August 6th, and you can see these posters flying around all over downtown.
And on
throughout
San Angelo Live.
San Angelo Live. Call down to Angry Cactus 703-6999. Get your tickets. They are $100, and
And it's all, and there's no drink. It's free drinks. All you can drink.
open bar. All food is food is included. Open bar, and of course, all the interactive entertainment. And kind of all the art and things of that nature.
If we could talk about the art for a second, I'd like to just kind of give a little bit of a preview for that.
Sure.
Yeah. So we due to the space that
Move back in the frame.
Oh, my bad. There we go. All right, there you can see my face. So we have about 20 artists. They're all local. Due to the space and the constraints, Tim didn't put any constraints on sizes. So we've got
sizes of the canvases,
and the sizes of the art, and so he's really going out in terms of allowing the artists to be creative as possible. So a few of the names we got Gabriel Lucky, we got Inks, and so those are some.
So explain to me who's Inks and who is Gabriel Lucky.
So Gabriel Lucky he's I mean, he's been painting for a while here in town. He was one of my inspirations when I first began. He was in my gallery when I opened it, and he just did that at the Urban Salt. He had that event over there. And so he's a local artist, and he's been doing.
He has quite a following.
He does. He's got a great following. Inks. His name is Louis Davila, but he goes by Inks.
How do you? Is INX?
INX, yeah.
Okay.
And he's done a lot of the major murals here in town.
You mean like outdoor murals?
Outdoor murals, yeah. And he's also a tattoo artist, a painter. He's incredibly talented. And so he's going to be in the show as well and contributing some of his artwork.
Now, when you're in the show, does he already have existing nudes that he's done, or is he going to create new ones?
He's going to create new ones.
Okay, so when you talk to these guys, they probably didn't have any nudes. They go, I got to get ready, get busy.
Yeah. Everybody that I have spoken to is creating new work for this show.
Okay, and we have an example back behind you. I don't know if we can get the camera angle over there. Yes, we can. We looked at Tim's art. It was a little, I guess, more modern looking, but this is more traditional. It's almost, I don't know, I guess it's 1920s.
It's pastel on board, so it's not on canvas. It's not with paint. This is actually part of my private collection. I didn't paint it or create it. This is something that's in my private collection, but I brought it just so that people could get an understanding of the diversity in terms of the kind of art they can expect. We also we'll probably have a 3D artist there doing sculptures, metal sculptures.
Okay.
So this is just an example of like the range and the spectrum of the kind of art that is going to be at the show.
I forgot to bring the mic over, so the guys on the podcast.
That's okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. So this is pastel on board, and this is just an example of the variety of kind of work that you're going to be able to see.
And for the folks who are not watching this on video, what we're looking at is I guess it's almost like a Renoir. Sure. Coupled with a Renaissance realism photo, a pastel of a nude woman, and so it has a little bit of realism in it, and it has a little bit of Renoir, the I guess the colors.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So just to give an example of the types of art that you'll be able to see at this art show in August. Yeah. What's the date, Tim?
It is August 6th, Tuesday, August 6th. It'll be from 6 p.m. to 9:30.
At the Angry Cactus in downtown San Angelo.
At the Angry Cactus, and I know I'm off the screen there.
Yeah. Well, we have this camera thing. We could have, I guess, what we need to do is like, on CBS, they have that zooming camera that's on wires or whatever. We need one of those. So if you guys will watch more of our live daily news show, we'll eventually be able to afford one of those. Anyway, Alejandro, thank you for coming on our show.
Yeah,
you need to come back on. We need to talk more about art in general in San Angelo because I know you're a subject matter expert. We've known each other a long time. Mm-hmm. And Tim, you're always bringing something new.
Oh, thank you.
Even if it's just a crazy dish that you cooked up with shrimp and scallops.
Well, I got something for you next week, so we'll
talk
about it soon.
All right. Anyway, back to the studio. I'm sorry. I'm Joe Hyde. To my right here is Alejandro Castagnon, and of course Tim Condon of the Angry Cactus. Back to the studio.
When it comes to unique pieces you can't find anywhere else, Kano's Diamonds and Coins is your one-stop shop. With over 24 years in the diamond and coin industry, Kano's Diamonds and Coins is West Texas's choice for diamonds, jewelry, coins, silver, and gold. Owner Bill Kano stands by his work and offers free consultations, including estate jewelry. Don't just trust anyone with your valuables. Come see the staff at Kano's at 1016 West Beauregard in San Angelo.
Thanks for watching the Live Daily News Show, the only locally owned live news show in the Concho Valley. Go like us on Facebook, X, and other social media platforms, and download the San Angelo Live mobile app to stay up to date with news from in and around the Concho Valley. Thanks again, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.